Hello and welcome to ThisConnect. Today we want to talk about a subject that is very close to my paunch.
Please clarify.
You were the one who wanted to talk about fitness. You clarify.
It is about fitness then.
Hmm.
I thought maybe it's about snacks.
It's the same thing.
Acha.
It's the same continuum. Fitness and snacks are on the exact same continuum.
Really? Is they at the other two ends of it?
You're enthusiastic about both. How can you say object to this at all? You're the one who can't object to it.
Yeah, I know. It's the reason why I have to focus so much more on.
Yeah,
trying
like
to stay
I'm not
fit.
into fitness, but I'm not into snacks either.
Lucky you. Lucky you.
Took a lot of work.
Really?
Of course. Who doesn't love
To just
snacks?
stay. Oh, so that's your bit of abstaining, huh?
I don't abstain.
क्या मतलब?
I don't abstain at all. I just have cheat days. On cheat days, you cheat with a vengeance.
Okay, tell me how does that work?
What?
When are your cheat
Why
days?
are we discussing this? Why should we
First,
discuss
I
why
want to know,
fitness
because
is
this
important?
Personal interest.
And
First
we'll come back to it.
We'll talk about fitness, but he's saying he's found a loop around putting on weight in the first place by having a cheat day.
Oh, okay. So fundamentally, I think all the research I've done says intermittent fasting works. It also works really for me because I never had breakfast anyway. And then my wife taught me to have breakfast. And then post-wife, unlearning not to have breakfast again was really the simplest thing ever. And basically, it means my calories come down. And therefore, my weight is stable. Whether I'm doing fitness work or not, doesn't matter. Weight is stable, right? But I realized the value of kachra in your life. Kachra in terms of food. Kachra in terms of exposure. Right? If you're going to keep your immunity, you have to be exposed to some amount of pathogens and germs and filth. If you're not exposed, the body says, I don't need all of this immunity. We're in a safe place. You lose it. It's the same for food also, I think. Right? I'm pushing 50, but my sugar's under control, for example, blood pressure's in a very good place, etc., etc., etc. But I think these are also the results of the stimuli that the system gets. So if it is all good stimuli, then the body will forget how to deal with the bad stimuli. So you have to have some amount of sugar, etc., etc. So instead of doing that on a regular basis, I just do it on Sundays. So I wake up on Sundays and I eat kachra through the whole day.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's
So that is the day when you'll have, like, I'll have sabudana for breakfast. Sabudana has some nutritional value, but a bowl is 600 calories or something.
And so much yumminess.
And I'm eating it for the yumminess, and I'm saying body deal with all the nonsense that it also represents. It's fine. Right? I would normally be very wary of my glasses of cold coffee because they are huge. You've seen how large it's like this large, 600 ml or something it is. It's got a lot of coffee in it. It's got a fair amount of sugar in it. And it's not good for you. And I restrict myself during the week because it's super tasty. It's my wife's recipe, right? On the weekend, I'll have like 2 glasses before noon. And I might have one more at 4 when I wake up from my nap. So on Sundays, you're like, is that the day when I would stoop to a cheese burst pizza? Probably. Although I think cheese burst pizza is just an abomination. But if there was one day of the week when I'd stoop to it, it's that day.
Okay. So religiously, that one day.
Religiously, that one day. Unless, I mean, okay, look, we're all going for dinner together or something. That's not the day to say, oh, I'm gluten-free today or whatever. That's not the day to do it. You don't get in people's way doing this.
So flexible still.
This is your own personal wall and boundary that you've built, and you do it on your own time. So if I'm going out with you tomorrow, and let's say we go to a bar and we're sitting to have beer, I'm not going to pick between the snacks based on, oh, this is vegetarian, that is gluten, this is too much carbs, and this is too much oil. No, not that. It's not like a rigid military thing.
You were poking fun at vegetarians there, or by any chance?
No, I'm saying people have food restrictions that they bring with them. And when they bring that and they do it for themselves, I am fine. When they tell other people saying, can we not order that because I don't eat that? Then I'm like, are you being an ass about it? Let other people eat it. No, you don't eat it. It's fine. You avoid it.
Okay.
That's all.
Good. So now that's a good. I mean,
Why is all of this required, Karthik?
Okay, I'll tell you why. Because somebody recently asked me. He's been driving a car, and he likes the car, right? He's been using it for some time, over a year. Appreciates the car. Everything is fine. He said that he started feeling a pain in his leg, which happens over longer drives, longer distances, and because of which, and he said, "Is there some way to fix this? Is there a workaround with this specific car, or should he change his car?"
Did you tell him not to change gears with his feet anymore? Since he's moved from bikes to cars?
I'm assuming that he has a manual, so that is why that, or maybe not. It was just in this case. This is the Verna. Verna has a slightly low slung seating position, right? So you sit more stretched out. There are some of those cars where you're not sitting chair like. You're sitting lower down, so you stretch out more, and that over longer distances can be taxing on your hip or back or legs like that. So that's where it came to me that hey, this is so interesting. I've heard this so many times. People will talk about, and the other one, and I think that is the more common issue where people have shoulder pain and then they'll have lack of mobility in the neck or arms. They'll just say that no, I get tired, and that is genuinely a big concern for me. And I've realized over time that these are the small things that affect people's ability to operate safely on the road.
Correct. No, in fact, for motorcyclists also, there are common things, right? They're all a pain in the ass. I mean, they all have a pain in the ass. Sorry. That might have been a little too on the nose. Like lower back pain, for example. Or people on longer rides saying shoulders hurt, neck hurts. And I think some of it has to do with fitness. Some of it has to do with technique. But what I always tell people, and is literally all the time now, if you're having a pain that just does not go away, instead of wondering if the equipment is wrong, it's worth going to a doctor once and making sure it's not a medical thing.
Right.
I've had at least 4 or 5 cases where somebody said chronic pain and same machine. So they're inferring that the way I use the machine or the way the machine is configured is causing this pain. But when they went to the doctor said, no, it had nothing to do with the machine. You have a deficiency of some vitamin or a mobility issue or something that can be corrected quite easily. And I'll give you one example. I've given this example before. I'm not sure here or somewhere else. Bharat was a very fast person in the corners, but Bharat was larger than the other racers, heavier than the other racers, so he'd get passed on the straights. And we met on the sidelines of the first Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup or whatever. So I told him, say, what's going on with you, right? So he says, no, I can't seem to lose weight. When I go to the gym, I put on weight. I become stronger, but I put on weight. And this went in circles. Until I said, Bharat, if you're doing all the right things, but your weight doesn't change, then you have a medical issue.
Right.
He says, how do you figure? I said, logically. Logically, the body is like let's call it a garbage bag, right? If you don't take out enough but put in more, the garbage bag fills up over time. But if you take out more and don't fill it enough, then the garbage bag shrinks over time. And you can take these two extremes and both are not good for you. And you want to find a balance in the middle. So Bharat went to the doctor. And he had if I remember correctly, a thyroid issue or something like that was
That's what
causing
you
the
had
weight
said.
gain.
Yeah.
When he started taking medication for it, immediately the weight problem disappeared.
Correct.
Right? There was somebody else with a back issue like this. And the first doctor he met said, oh, you shouldn't be riding bikes at all. I don't know if this doctor is anti-motorcycles or just a terrible doctor. I don't know. So I said, why don't you get a second opinion? He says, why should I get a second? I said, because the doctor is asking you to make a drastic change of lifestyle. You love motorcycles. You're riding a motorcycle. You're having a backache and your doctor's solution is to remove motorcycles. Then what is he solving? So why don't you go to somebody else? The second doctor said, you just have really weak hip flexors, lower back, and I think core.
Okay.
Because you sit in the office all day, you
So
do
very
this.
poor mobility.
You have very poor ability to hold your torso up in 3D space. So obviously these muscles are getting exhausted and then you're in lots of pain. It has nothing to do with motorcycles and it has nothing to do with your current physical condition in terms of vitamins, minerals and all of this nonsense. Go to a physio and get them to kickstart the process of making your core stronger, lower back stronger, etc. They'll show you how to restore mobility and strength. And you have to be consistent with this now.
Right.
We know this is a weak thing for your way the body is configured. Your legs aren't weak, your hands are weak, whatever, but your torso is. There's 8 sets of or 10 sets of muscles in there. We need to constantly keep them engaged and strong, for which now you're going to change your lifestyle in terms of exercise component being added to it. He didn't eliminate the motorcycles.
Yeah.
I want to take a moment to invite you to check out our app. MotorInc is a free download on the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. It contains all of our videos, FAQs, and podcasts. And in fact, right now, ThisConnect Season 3 is playing exclusively on the app and is completely free to watch.
No, I mean, there was this one time, this is way long back. I had become very irregular with my fitness side of things. And we were talking.
I don't believe him.
And we were talking, and he said, are you going to be out riding or something like that? And I said, no, I'm not going to ride now until I get to this point of getting back to fitness. And you're like, hey man, what's the point of wasting time? When you're riding, you're getting fitter. And it's so funny, but that was so true because I used to do so much of off road, and I did not realize how much functional strength and mobility I gained through riding off road.
Yeah.
It was just unreal.
Yeah.
After that, suddenly you realize that you had so much more core engagement because you'd been riding off road because it's completely unpredictable environment.
Yeah.
And because of that, it impacted every other aspect of driving and riding so much. Like when after doing off road, when you ride on the road, everything is so much calmer, easier, smoother. It helped with the cars. I think I've told you this story. This was I think when I got the Impulse early days, and I was riding off road a lot, and then I went for that Toyota Etios Cup, Toyota
the
Etios
race
Cup. That one time that it had happened. And it was Chennai had been resurfaced MMRT, and it was loose. And it was just zero stress, zero issues with handling that varying conditions and the car sliding and all of that. And that showed that it was a core and two, mental agility that it promoted.
Yeah.
So fitness, when I wanted to talk about it today, yes, it is in the static sense of are you physically fit as an individual, but also the larger application of being active with your machine, right? Whether it's a motorcycle or a car. And I started with the car. For us, motorcycles and fitness are far more closely associated than cars are. But I started with cars because people don't realize this, that so often they are doing things wrong in the car, which is affecting their health, which is affecting.
No, he didn't mean the jumping car when he says doing the wrong thing in the car and all, okay? You PK fans. Seriously, gutter brains. I've just completely taken him off track.
I apologize. I don't realize when these ones are coming up. Okay.
And the last couple of weeks, he's been on a roll. He's been saying things like this back to back.
And Shumi helps by saying don't say anything.
Yeah,
about
don't
it.
say anything.
Yeah, that always helps, right?
Yeah, don't.
Yeah. Thank you.
The car is not a place to drink, and it is not a place to,
Jump around.
yeah, jump around. See,
Okay.
comes from him.
So the shoulders one, for instance, is so common where people will have issues with their traps, with their upper back, because the seating position is completely wrong.
Yeah.
So no matter how much you exercise or how much you train, if you're going to strain that area consistently, right? And for many people driving like maybe 2 hours a day, and imagine, and this is a position that people like a lot. This, the seat reclined completely.
Correct.
And the arms stretched out straight up. When you just do this in your chair, wherever you're sitting, just do this. Just lean back and stretch your arm out as though you're holding a steering wheel up top. You'll immediately feel a strain here, all the way through your arm, through your shoulders. And that one small thing can affect so much more of what you do.
Yeah.
Right? So on the one hand, you can be harming yourself by just doing things wrong. So good posture on a motorcycle, in a car, are important, especially if you're spending a lot of time.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, is the question of actually being fitter and being, I would want to say, more responsible first and foremost with your life on the road. Because people, and again, car focused, if you aren't fit, if you aren't mentally prepared, and this is again,
And they're very, very closely connected to each other.
exactly. If you aren't prepared, then your ability to react to an emergency situation first and foremost, and that's something that we're always talking about from the safety standpoint, and this is what we mean. This is your involvement, this is your responsibility, this is your reflexes, and you have to train those.
Yeah.
How hard and how fast have you ever moved a steering wheel? Have you tried it at standstill? Just to go all the way lock, right? Have you tried it? How much effort does it take? How much time does it take? How quickly can you do it? Are your movements coordinated? Are they in sync? Right? Can you get your hands to do that? It sounds like such a simple and stupid thing, but have you tried it? Unless and until you've done that, your fitness as operator of that machine is probably not where it should be.
Yeah, and I don't want to turn this into like a big deal in the sense of these are not deal breakers. These are opportunities for you to improve a lot more than anything else. Okay, if you're fit and you're driving or riding, you'll just do a better job of it because your body is not in the way. If your body is in the way, it'll exhaust you. Once it exhausts you, your reflexes don't work. Your reflexes don't work because your brain is not as sharp as it could be, and that's the simplest thing, right?
Absolutely.
The first thing when I started to pay attention to how much I am eating as opposed to what I'm eating, I still eat kachra, like I said, but how much I'm eating is important because when you overeat, your body has to put all of its energy trying to get rid of that food from the system. And there is nobody who can eat a huge meal and then be alert. It's very difficult to do. You're far more alert when you're hungry. And I discovered that when I'm out riding, I feel like eating a lot less is a habit that has formed now. There's no actual physiological reason why, oh, you're riding, so you should be eating less today. Technically, you're burning more energy than you would sitting around the house or whatever, right? But I know that that makes me slower. And not slower as in I'm taking more time to get somewhere.
Slows
Slower
you
to
down.
react.
Yeah. Yeah.
Slower to react. Slower to understand, oh, there's a hazard, I need to avoid it.
Yeah.
Whereas when I'm slightly hungry, and it's not like ravenously hungry, you know that feeling when it feels like your stomach lining is rubbing against each other and you're like desperately hungry? You don't have to get there. But you don't want to feel fully sated either. So when I have lunch on a long day on the bike, I don't leave the dhaba or whatever feeling full.
Yeah.
I leave it feeling like I've had something. And maybe in 3 hours, this will wake up and become strong enough an urge for me to have to stop again and eat something. In 3 hours, this fuel tank will be at nearly zero. Perfect. And that's the calculation. Right? So fitness can help. Fitness is not necessarily the barrier that's saying if you're unfit, you shouldn't be driving. But if you are fit, it has lots of other benefits, including the driving. Right? Think about it like this. If you're going to sit weirdly for 8 hours a day, it's going to cost you. Okay, that's your office chair. That's if you work from home, the dining table chair that you sit at and work from. That's the chair that you've opted to use as your home office. That's your car seat. That's your motorcycle seat. If you're going to do these activities for any length of time continuously, but they are not adjusted to how you like it and your body likes it, it's going to hurt, it's going to cause problems. There's no way around this.
And there are simple ways to enhance your daily routine, and both of us have done it. We in office, back at Zig and PD, both of us used to have standing desk setups, and they were very casual setups. It wasn't like a expensive table which was motorized.
Yeah.
We just had, like, I think at one point I had a carton with a
Amazon box, I
plank
think,
on,
yeah.
with a plank on top of it. He had a plank of wood at a higher level.
That's because I had a cubicle. It was like this, and there was no other way to do this. So I told a carpenter to basically take a sheet of ply and then cut 2 grooves so that it would fit on top of that, and that was the end of my working
And
setup.
both of us used to do that. It's not that you were standing and working all through the day, but you would work for a big chunk of the day like that, the day
Yeah.
you were in office, and you'd alternate between sitting and standing up when required, so that you were engaging your body, you were setting up a healthier tone for it.
Yeah, it's the same on the bike also, right? At the racetrack, when we are after the first long class, we have a small session which tells people how to sit on a motorcycle. Some of it is applied to every day, and some of it is because you're at the racetrack and you want a certain mindset. Take a certain position so your body promotes that mindset, which is I'm working towards something. It's not casual, it's a little bit more serious than that, right? In that, what most people don't realize is we say, for example, that if your foot peg is like this, bring your feet up on the pegs so that the balls of your feet are on the foot pegs, right? That also makes you continuously move your leg. Every gear change, you'll have to move your leg forward and back, up and down shifts both. Every time you want to use the rear brake, you'll move your leg. So you're out of a static seating position. At the racetrack, anyway, we move around quite a bit, right? For every right turn, I'll have to hang off and come back, etc. On the street, you don't technically do this. But if you follow me on a street ride, I'm not sitting in one place. So that idea that I just sort of sit in the sofa like this and then 3 hours later I get off the bike on a touring day or 45 minutes later on a commuting day, I don't do that. I'm sitting in an active position.
I think one thing I'll point out, if you've seen the videos, Shumi's reviews, when you see him on the bike, he'll look very loose, right? You'll see his arms low, nice, relaxed. And that's important to you having good control over the bike. But the reason that can happen is actually because the core is engaged. The thighs are gripping the tank so that he's completely connected with the bike. So his upper body can be relaxed, it can be loose.
Yeah.
You see that relaxation because something else is keeping him centered with the bike. And that is such a small but critical part of feeling that sense of control, the tirelessness when you're doing harder riding, especially. You'll find all of these small steps will build up to a much bigger sense of comfort and confidence.
Yeah. And when I drive, and I don't drive a lot to be honest with you, from my house to exiting Mumbai is like an hour, 15 minutes sometimes. But it's not continuously driving. You're stopping at a signal, in traffic, etc. Every single time, if I'm feeling like I'm not in a comfortable position, I make micro adjustments so that when I'm out on the highway and I'm going to do like an hour and a half of driving continuously now, I am in the most comfortable position I can be. And I found that super laid back driving position, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do it. And even when I find the ergonomically best position I can, even then after a long day, my shoulders will hurt a little bit because I just don't do that often enough.
Yeah.
But I can sit in a far more strenuous riding position the whole day and not notice any strain from it, which is my point about the fitness thing. If you like these activities and you do them often enough, then your body will build strength and fitness required in the areas it needs to be able to perform this over and over again. Did I tell you about how our brain caches instructions?
No.
Okay, so I was reading this book about the brain called The Brain. And it's a very good book to read if you want to understand how we think and how you might be able to use it every day. And what that says is the brain is sort of like a computer, or the computer is sort of like a brain if you prefer. The idea being that there is long-term storage, which is large, but it takes a little bit of time to get to. And then there is quick storage. And the body wants to store instructions that it uses a lot in short-term storage because it needs them a lot, right? You can think about it like all the information you need to brush your teeth well is front and center in that fast access short-term memory every day in the morning because your body knows that you're about to do this, which is why when you're brushing your teeth, you can think about whatever you want and it doesn't seem to really deteriorate the quality of the brushing. So if you ride motorcycles a lot, then the instruction set for motorcycling arrives and stays up close. And the body knows this instruction set we will use a lot. It's in the quick access memory, which is why a racer who uses that the most of all the kinds of riders we know can think about strategy while they're riding the bike really fast. Because a lot of the basic riding decisions are happening subconsciously from that fast access memory. So they have free attention and bandwidth to think about other stuff. Right? So one, you should do it a lot more because the physical body also works the same way. If you're constantly sitting like this, and let's say that engages 3 muscles here, 2 muscles here, 1 here or whatever, your body knows that these are commonly used muscles. So they need to have extra strength being built in here. And your body is a very efficient object. It will direct energy is there. And maybe that means your thighs are weaker because you don't use them so much.
No. So what, I think this is a very crucial point, right? Muscle memory. Building it up, right? And like you said, fitness in the sense of going to a gym and working out is not the idea that we are pushing
It's
here,
good
right?
for you if you do that, but it's not essential that you do to have a good driving or riding experience.
And even in that, the entire biker boy concept of muscled and short t-shirts is, I mean, look at any of the MotoGP races. None of them are bursting with muscles. Very few of them are actually.
Yeah.
Most of them are just light, lean,
very fit, very lean, very strong,
you don't
but
see
not
them
muscled.
as,
But not muscled.
That's not how they are. Very few of them actually. I have been surprised. I remember Dovi was the first guy of all the MotoGP guys that I met who I realized was like stocky and muscular.
Yeah.
And now you think of Martin, but on the other hand, you see Pecco, and he's like completely like
correct,
not muscly at all, right? So that concept is a bit of a missell.
It's advertising. Yeah, it has nothing to do with reality, honestly.
So to be a good motorcyclist, especially because that's a more strenuous physical activity.
No, and
if you're doing it with intensity.
Yeah, and I'll give you examples from our track day also. Our track day is full of enthusiasts, right? We have enthusiasts who are gym rats, as we call them, right? They go to the gym a lot, they work out a lot, and they are heavily muscled. All of them have trouble moving around on the motorcycle because the muscle is in the way.
Right.
You know how if you get muscled enough and your back becomes large enough, it becomes hard for you to tuck your hands in. But tucking your hands in is essential down the straight at the racetrack, for example, right? So they have to do this because there's so much like muscle that they can't do it anymore, which is why being super muscled and riding a bike is not necessarily a good thing as a combination.
And on this, again, same point of saying don't let your physical structure dictate what you think you can do.
Oh, not at all.
Right? Because our friend Priyadarshan from Zig Wheels, right? And we used to ride when the Duke came out. He and I used to go riding regularly. And I promise you, I had to ride. I mean, looking at PD, who was then, now he's not, I mean, he's lost a lot of weight and he's much fitter now. But back then, he carried a lot more weight. And looking at him, you'd think he's not going to be able to ride fast. But PD used to keep me honest everywhere, all the time, no matter what. And you'd just look at him ride and you'd be like, what the hell?
Yeah.
How's he doing it so well? And I used to just say, man, if you were actually lighter, if he was the same weight as me, he'd be so much faster. His natural ability to ride was just better.
Yeah.
It was just better. It did not hold him back. Yes, the additional weight meant that on a straight, I would be faster than him coming out of a corner or whatever. But he was a fantastic and is a great rider.
Yeah. And the idea again is all of these can be improved with fitness. But if you lack fitness, your ability to do it for a long time starts to go away.
Fitness at the heart of it means being able to do something efficiently or effortlessly, right? So the fitter you are in all these scenarios, I think the advantage finally comes down to, and this, now I'm saying in the sense of not the basic fitness we were talking about, being in sync with your machine, sitting right and all of that. I'm just saying physically, if you are actually fitter, what it does is makes you safer on the road for longer.
Yeah.
Because when you're spending more hours, if you're not running efficiently, if your body is not up to the task of doing 200 kilometers at a stretch and you are fatigued, you're not going to be safe on the road.
No, you're not.
Whether you're in a car or on a bike. And we've seen this. People who need to take many, many more breaks.
Yeah.
Right? Because they just can't. The body feels stiff or they're feeling tired, whatever it may be, whatever the reasons are.
Notifications.
Dude, why do you bring social media in? Anyways, okay. Yeah, that's... This morning we were out shooting and there was this guy sitting on it was a pickup. He was sitting on the cab part of it, facing the other way, not looking at... And we were on a highway, okay? And he was not looking anywhere. He was down on his phone. Nothing. He was looking at nothing. If there was one bump, he would have gone flying right off that pickup and onto the... Unbothered. Anyways.
You should have called the GPCC helpline immediately.
GPCC?
Yeah. The Gene Pool Cleanup Club. They're there to help you intervene.
That he was part of that process. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. He's like a card-carrying member, clearly.
Another bit of क्या बोल सकते हैं इसको? MotorInc merchandise. GPCC member gifted to somebody you know.
Don't subsume everything that I've done personally into MotorInc, okay? MotorInc has its own merch line and GPCC will have its own.
Oh, so you're going to be the gatekeeper of GPCC?
It's a volunteer organization. I only thought of the idea, that's it.
Okay. Correct. So the fitness idea, again, comes from your basic operational aspects of it. The other is the safety aspect of it. And third, and this is where it should get fun, and I hope everybody gets a chance, is when you actually go to a track. And that's the easiest way to set that example up. Because then you're doing something with real intensity.
And continuously for usually 2 days at a stretch with no distractions and breaks.
And then when you do that, like even in a car, I remember this one time, Ascari. So there's this racetrack in Spain. It's up in the mountains. And it's a combination of the best corners of different racetracks in the world. Shumi, I cannot for the life of me imagine that this could have happened. But we were there with, this is ages ago, so we were there for a drive with Jaguar. And they had all their F-type models there. So XJ, the F-Type, all of that. So you had all the massive 5-liter V8s with 550 horsepower and all of that. And that track is fairly narrow. But it has, you can carry a lot of speed. So there's this last section which is banked and it's a left-hander. So you come out a kink, you climb up and you go around like that. Then there's a small little chicane after that, just quickly. And then again a fast section. I can't tell you one day of driving around that track, and it wasn't like a full day also, right? You drove up to the track and then you spent a couple of hours there driving all the cars.
Yeah.
The next day, my core was hurting, and especially because it was this, right?
Yeah.
Going left like this and accelerating hard. My left side was hurting.
Yeah.
I couldn't have imagined that would happen
In a
driving
car.
road cars.
Road cars, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But it's possible. And imagine doing that in a proper sports car, on a proper racetrack, spending time like that. you'll need that fitness. And it's a great way to actually get fitter.
No, and I can give you the other side of that. Okay, so a race car driver, why do they need to be fit? Technically, they shouldn't be, right? Because they're put in a chair and they're strapped down. So it's not like they can actually physically do this at all. In theory, they could ragdoll inside the car, and their hands would remain on the steering wheel and their eyes would remain where they are in the cockpit, because they literally are strapped down so hard that they cannot move. But they need that fitness and the strength, because if they didn't have it, they'd lose focus.
Yeah.
And then they'd drive badly. So the fitness is not required to stay in place. I mean, they're literally tied into their seats. They need the fitness so they can continue to focus till the end of the race and drive well. That's how key fitness is to their jobs. Right? You've seen the Formula One drivers going like this with the neck thing and trying to make necks, and then they all look like Gladstone Small's elder brothers, right? Gladstone Small was the cricketer who had the collar up like this, so it looked like he never had a neck.
Oh, okay.
And then all the Formula One guys are like this with this huge
Tree
massive
trunks.
tree
Yeah.
trunk neck, right?
Yeah.
What is it for?
Yeah.
It's because they have to hold against G forces when they're turning, and they turn fast, right? They don't slow down for corners. I mean, the logical way to take a corner is to slow down like a bike does. The illogical way is to do what a car does. I've got so much grip, I don't need to slow down, right? Then you need a neck.
Yeah.
Right? What is that neck for? It is to prevent exhaustion. Why is exhaustion a problem? They're strapped in. They can't move. Right? You've got that halo device on top and hands device at the back, and God knows what else strapped to that. Right? Why do you need it? So that you can continue to focus, make good decisions, and drive well. But I also want to tell you that fitness is not everybody's natural cup of tea, and that's okay. Right? I'll give you an example of my family. Okay. Now when I put it like in this perspective, it's horrifying. My father's a workaholic. My mother's a workaholic. My father has had arthritis for X number of years now, and he's rheumatoid arthritis, which is debilitating, which is disabling, which prevents mobility of all kinds and fashions, and he's in constant pain. He's had arthritis since he was 35. He's pushing 80 now. So he cannot exercise. He can work. He can hobble to work. He can get into cars, get out of cars, whatever. But he has not been able to exercise since I was a child. Mom, workaholic, doesn't really exercise. Dad was army, but dad didn't think daughters needed to exercise. So always unfit. So in my house, exercise was an unknown quantity because nobody did it.
Oh, shucks.
Nobody did it. Okay? My sister can't wake up in the morning. She's not a morning person. No exercise. And the only exercise I got in school was because I was on the school football team and the basketball team. I was required to go for coaching. And the day I joined college, I stopped doing all of that too, because in my college, there were no sports facilities at all.
Oh, shucks.
The tennis court was used to do bonfires on Delhi winter nights.
Are you serious? Oh
My college
God.
was at ITO. You know where ITO is if you live in Delhi. We would go all over ITO collecting wood so we could have a bonfire. And the logical place to have a bonfire where there was nothing else to set fire to was the tennis court. Right? They can't expel me from college now because I've left. Right? So there was no fitness in my life at all. When I came to after that my software job, it was a software job. And I was so happy riding motorcycles that again, fitness wasn't there. I was riding motorcycles a lot. And during this whole phase, I had great metabolism, right? So I could eat as much as I felt like, and it would not make a difference to my structure. And I was a skinny, underweight person. When I came to Mumbai, I discovered vada pavs and I fell in love with vada pavs. And I gained, 17, 18 kilos in the process. Still no fitness.
That's an exaggeration.
No, I'm not kidding. I came to Mumbai, I was 67 kilos. And there are photographs of me gaining weight steadily through my life at Business Standard
Vada
Motoring.
pavs.
And I would have 6 in the evening for a snack, Kartik. People would say, ek mere liye, ek uske liye. I'd say, 6 mere liye. I was that guy. Right? At COVID, I had no regular exercise routine and I weighed 90 kilos. And at COVID, I had literally nothing to do. Nothing. So I said, okay, chal, we'll do exercise. And at the end of COVID, I came out weighing 71 kilos. And I was super fit.
Wow.
In that time, I discovered how much I enjoyed the idea of my body's mobility. Of my ability to gain strength and do stuff with my body. Because I went through this phase saying, hey, I'm 40x years old, right? It's not going to do this. How can it do this without getting injured or broken or something? And then it would do that, whatever it was. It was like the 50th sit-up or crunch or whatever it was, right? I'd say my body cannot possibly do this. And then it would. And then there's so much joy in that little achievement, saying, I didn't think I could be able to get to, I don't know, the 4th set of 15 crunches or push-ups or whatever it was. I couldn't possibly do it. And then your body would pull that off, right? I feel like, man, this is awesome.
Dude, you know, for me, it's the absolute flip. While you're talking about it, I was just imagining this side, right?
Yeah.
And now I realize that some of the things are so twisted because of my mother.
Yeah.
Okay, my mother has played hockey for India.
Correct.
So she's a sports person. Like she's grown up like active, right? And we've seen her like that. We were like, dad used to travel a lot, so mom was the primary influence that way, right? And for her, and we used to be living in the middle of nowhere. It's a little village between Mumbai and Pune. So there was nothing. There was nothing around. But without fail, every evening, it would be at 5:30 or so. She'd come out with a hockey stick with the ball, and there'd be this one place where she'd go and practice her shots. Right. So that would be her routine. You were seeing her do that.
Correct.
That is not the only thing she's doing. For her, skipping was what? You do 10,000 skips. Right? No, I'm not kidding. Because in one go, she'd do 1,000, 2,000 skips like that without getting stuck or something like that. So we had like stupid benchmarks like that. Right? Which is why you'd think, like me and my younger sister Meghna, we would be like, when we started running, like saying, okay, yeah, let's do running. Every day 10 kilometers was normal.
Correct.
In the morning, we've only done 6. Okay, we'll go do another 5 in the evening. You know, today we didn't feel up to it. It was like that.
Yeah.
And even then you'd be like, no, can we go? Should we go to the gym or something like that? It was stupid.
Correct.
It's like that. We used to be doing it that kinds.
Yeah.
And today also, I realized that you have to find, I've actually messed up my knees like that. Because when I moved to Mumbai for the first time, when I got my job at IMRB, which was in market research, I didn't have money for a gym. And Mumbai, finding places to exercise was not very easy. So I used to just go run. And the idea was that you get as many kilometers done as quickly as possible. You were running on pavement, tarmac, whatever. And you're just trying to clock kilometers. And I screwed up my knees like that because I used to just be like, okay, go half an hour. You have to finish 6-7 kilometers, whatever it is. And slowly, that little ache started in my knees, which built up. And then I realized that shit, I've messed up.
This is a bad idea. Yeah.
So that was like the psyche was completely different that way.
Yeah, and to me now, I know that I am not regular with exercise right now because MotorInc is a very, very heavy schedule, etc. I know that I physically miss working out. And I have a tremendously frightening, and I can't do anything aram se, right? You know, I push everything. So last time mom was here, okay, and I was exercising in the drawing room and she came out and she looked at the state of me, okay? She like, and I can see her, the thought bubble over her head saying, my son is 50 years old and he has no clue. And she went back into the room.
I'll tell you a funny story. We had ridden down, this was when I just got the Busa, we ridden down to Chennai and we are at the hotel. We got there the evening before the track day was to start. And so this was for the Nimota track day. And we got there in the morning or the afternoon or something like that. So we'd ridden...
Afternoon.
We had ridden...
Bengaluru to Chennai, I think.
We'd done Pune to Bengaluru. Then next day we did Bengaluru to Chennai. And we got there in the morning, afternoon, whatever that types. That evening, there are 6-7 people in his room. I think you're sharing the room with Anand.
Yeah.
Were you sharing the room with Anand?
Yeah.
And everybody's sitting and chilling. And Shumi's there in shorts and doing his workout while talking to everybody.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
He's like fully sweating and grunting and this and that, and everybody's sitting chilling over there. That I could never do. Like if there are 10 people sitting around and you work out in the middle of that, I can't do that. I need my space. I need to shut off.
Yeah, so now I have figured out that the only way I can maintain it is a specific kind of routine, which is full body. And you do it as many times as you can, minimum once a week. Keeps me going. I know I want to do more. And I know the difference it makes on a motorcycle because I tell you this. I rode my 210 at the racetrack before COVID. That's the last time I had it in Pune. After that, it's been at the racetrack ever since. And I came back after COVID, rusty AF, but 20 kilos lighter. Okay? Not ridden a motorcycle in anger for whatever, 2.5, 3 years, but super fit with a strong core.
Transformational.
Right? Just the fact that I was 20 kilos lighter was worth, 10 seconds that lap or something. Just the fact that at the end of the 19th session, I was still going just as well as the first day because my strength and my fitness was correct. It was life-changing, right? And that day I knew that when I gain weight, like today I am what? Today I am 9 kilos heavier than I was on that day. and I'm a lot less stronger. I know that I am not having the best motorcycle experience I can. I know it. And this is my desperation. My desperation is age is catching up to me, and it is up to me to prevent it from overtaking me. How strong can I stay? How my reflexes will work, etc. I have some amount of control over these. I might as well exert that control or not. You have a choice. This is why I want to exercise. It has nothing to do with whether I look better in my clothes or not. I don't care. I want to ride motorcycles till the day I die. And if I have to do that, I have to stay as fit as possible, as long as possible. And whatever work this entails, I am willing to do.
Right.
Right? And I know that every time I go to the racetrack now, I ride well, I have a good time, etc. I know I can do better. I'm just not strong enough yet. And I will be strong enough. To me, the age itself being a number doesn't matter. I know that there is a reason why I have to be that kind of fit.
And for those of you who are thinking about getting fitter, getting more, let's say, functionality into your body, weights aren't the only answer. You do not need fancy equipment. You can do it in the space that it takes for you to lie down somewhere. And I think we spoke about this on an earlier disconnect. I think about Pilates. Pilates is,
Yeah,
the
you
way I
did.
look at it, is just westernized yoga broken up into pieces. And but it's very effective. 20-minute workouts. I'd said I would put in a link then, but this time I will, to these playlists from the US Department of Defense. They have YouTube playlists for Pilates, and I found those to be exceptionally good. So for the person who spoke about having leg pain because of a previous injury, but have you tried to remedy the issue? It sounds like stiff muscles,
Right.
right? Rather than a genuine issue which the car, for which you need to change the car to fix, right? The car, of course, can help that, but should you not fix the root cause?
Yeah.
Right? So doing the right kind of stretches, the world's greatest stretches, sounds like something perfect for this kind of a situation where your lower back, thighs, hips, all of that kind of opens up. And I'm not a guy with great mobility in terms of flexibility. So I have to work on these things more
Yep.
than most people. Right. So I understand the stiffness wala angle. I understand the need to be light on a motorcycle. It's not easy for me. I'm a bulky guy. So to move on a motorcycle for me actually takes more effort. I do get tired more. So I will put in that extra effort so that I can do it better. Right. The next time around for my needs and my state. So putting in that work doesn't mean going out and just killing yourself. It's light, smooth, controlled movements that will move you forward, doing it consistently.
Yep.
And that's why that Pilates example, I think, is something that you should try, should keep in mind at least if you're looking to take this forward.
Consistency is the key. Okay. And if you go into this rabbit hole, the YouTube will flood you with fitness videos, and everybody's got an idea about how you should do what. And it is super confusing. Okay. The fundamental that I would like you to remember is just this: start anything. Walking works. You want to do something more hardcore, you want to run. You want to swim. It doesn't matter. Just do it. And you don't even have to do it like every day, every half an hour. Just start. Say you'll do a walk. Let's call it a 10-minute walk, and you do it on Sunday. Just do that. If you can get to 4 or 5 weeks of walking every Sunday, the rest of it will happen. Right? Today in our office, somebody has just started going to the gym, and they hate the idea of the gym. She's a girl. They hate the idea of the men there, and some of the men are not very polite, etc. Is a thing that she's built in her head. It's a society gym, so more or less you see the same faces and you know where they live, so you can't really misbehave, right? But this is her idea of it. She hates the idea that it feels so used, and she's a smart person. And for smart people, the idea that I'll stand and move a dumbbell through space is just, it's like intellectually the least stimulating thing ever, right? And I thought that too at one point, saying, what is this gym nonsense, right? Today she said, I physically miss going to the gym when I can't. There's something about moving your body through space that reorients your brain, and all you have to do, the hump that you have to get over is just that. Can you do something that makes your body move through space in a pleasing manner for 4 or 5 weeks? The rest will work itself out.
You know what the difference is? That she went there thinking of it as just going through the motions.
Yeah.
But somewhere along the way,
Yeah.
the brain kicked in.
Yeah.
And then it became a process of challenging yourself.
Yeah.
And that's when it starts getting interesting.
Yeah. But my point is this. If you're serious about driving and riding, and I'm assuming you are, that's why you're here with us.
Hang on. If you were trying to figure out which car or bike to buy, I have to ask you, have you used this search on the MotorInc app?
It is fast and powerful. The MotorInc app is free to download, free to sign up, and the conversations there, as I keep saying, are priceless.
Then thinking that a basic level of fitness is important to that activity, I think it changes things. You don't have to overdo it. You don't have to become like 0% body fat and 92,000 abs. Not needed.
One book recommendation for this in this journey, Atomic Habits. Just check that out.
Yeah. Atomic Habits has a great idea, which is make a small step and just make that step consistent first. Then we'll deal with the rest later. In that book, you'll discover the example of the British cyclists. The team. It's a very powerful example.
Beautiful.
It's a beautiful example. I'm not going to give you a spoiler. Read the book. It's a great book. There's a reason why it's a huge hit. Yeah, he gave me the book. Awesome. Right? The point that we wanted to make today is very simple. If you want to be a better driver or rider, your ability to think, react, control is critical. And a big part of that is whether you're right there in the car, physically present in the situation you're in or not. And fitness helps with that. How much fitness? Completely up to you.
And the physical fitness part of it enables better mental fitness, which again builds up every cushion, gives you every advantage out of that in terms of safety, in terms of enjoyment, in terms of longevity, all of that. It all adds up on top of that. So you being physically fitter makes you more mentally capable as well, and makes this entire experience that, if you're here, means you value, will make it that much richer.
The last time that you were super fit, this is the last thought I just, and this is also a tangent, honestly. Did you become aware of how unfit other people are?
Not really.
Really? Because I was like, when I was fit, and not like I had abs and stuff, I was just super fit. I could like go on forever in terms of how much energy and I had and strength and all that, right? I was just physically so aware of how unfit other people were. And not in a creepy way, in the sense I was like, oh my God, you'd do so much better if you were fit. I mean, why do you have that punch or whatever, right? It was like a constant awareness.
It's like when smokers quit.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, why are you smoking, man? Stop it, yeah.
No, I didn't want to tell them anything. So I'd go for a run, for example, right? So I'm running or I'm having an evening walk or whatever, it's my recovery or whatever, right? And I'd be like, oh, yeah, your waist is so close to being fit.
Oh my God.
I won't say anything. And,
You're thinking it.
yeah, I'm like, oh, and I was so hyper aware that I realized why when people become fit, the clothes become tight.
Actually, the only time this happens to me is when it's not to do with people who are fit or unfit. It's like when somebody's going halfway and they're not seeing that not even halfway, that they think that they are exercising.
So going through the motions.
Yeah. When I see that, then I'm like, dude, why?
You're already here.
I mean, make the most of it. Like that typical, that cliche of women with 1 pound dumbbells or 2 pound dumbbells.
Yeah.
And I've seen that time and again that they're like, no, I mean, this is enough. I said, how can you say, how many, women, if you're watching this, do you, like, when
you're going to get crucified, right?
No, it's because it's a cliche that has been sold to you, right? That you don't have to do weights, or doing weights is for men, or whatever that crap, which is not true. As you get older, it's important for women to do weights to maintain bone density.
For both genders. He's just saying from the cliche perspective, women in this particular case.
For women, because women, as they get older, when they're getting menopausal, right, at that point, bone density starts depleting from that
Correct.
point
And you need
onwards.
resistance training to bring it back up.
Yes. So which is why, and also building up muscle also helps with that. So this is something that women actually have to start doing more consciously as they get older. So the weights argument is a silly one.
Yeah.
And I will say this time and again, like when you go for a workout, do you come back all sweaty or not? This entire argument that I don't sweat, right, means you've not worked out hard enough. So do yourself a favor, try, push a little bit more and get to a point where you feel like you've properly exhausted yourself. And the next time you go out and work out, you'll be able to do so much more.
If you live in Mumbai, though, sweat is not a good indicator of anything.
In that case, I just have to stand outside.
Yeah. There's sometimes that I picked up the air conditioning, the AC remote button and pressed the button and sweated from the effort of it also. Because it's just too hot.
That one I predicted. That's why I started laughing before. Okay, cool. What else?
That's it. And if you were expecting the big announcement, I'm sorry, paperwork. We're still stuck. It's still not us. We're ready, but
Yeah.
paperwork.
Okay.
So you will see this episode in one of two ways. Either we are delayed, and this is episode 25, which means hopefully the next episode, the announcement and everything that we want to tell you, and we're desperate to tell you, will be out. Or you will see this is episode 26 at some point as a bonus episode, because this is what we recorded as a backup, hoping that we don't have to use it. So let's see what
So
happens.
if you're wondering why we've not been working out regularly, this is part of the reason. We're waiting.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah. Anyways. Okay. If you have any queries and if you have any concerns regarding this fitness angle, do let us know in the comments. We'd love to discuss our experiences there more in detail, which is why we've just kind of given you a broad view of how we've gone about handling this side of our lives. And keep in mind that our schedules and lives have not been very organized. So figuring this part out of our lives was crucial, but also very, very difficult, because we'd be on the road for say 4-5 days of the week and no real schedules in terms of when you wake up, when you eat, all of that. So it has been challenging. So we've had to figure out hacks, and some of these are those convenient solutions. If you can do something stricter, better, that's great for you.
Yeah, and if it helps relatability, I am the structured guy. Like I want to do the same thing at 7 a.m. every morning, but I am in a different place at 7 a.m. every morning depending on what's going on at MotorInc, right? So for me, finding a way to do the same thing, like the gym schedule or whatever, every single day at the same time, it is frighteningly hard to do. Today, 2.5 years after MotorInc started, I can reliably say 4 o'clock on Sunday evening, there's a good 80-85% chance I'll be at home. And therefore, that is a good time to make sure one workout in the week for sure can happen. It's taken 2.5 years to get to this point. So it can be done.
Step by step.
Step by step.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we've eaten their brains enough about exercise.
Alrighty then. Enjoy your snacks after you exercise. And on that note, 3, 2, 1, disconnect.
Oh, sorry, I was eating something. We have to do it again. 3. That's actually his job, not mine. I'm not the snack guy. 3, 2, 1,
Disconnect.